Hello. Okay, so I thought about doing this and doing a couple of cards, and then I realized that I'm just sort of getting back into this, so I only want to do one to see how quickly that, not how quickly that I can do it, but just, I don't want it to run like an hour like my plan with me was. Sorry about that. Thank you for watching, though. So the idea is that, I use the sets that I use in my plan with me, which, hold on, let me pull it out and show you guys. Now, keep in mind, I haven't done this for a year. If you didn't watch the plan with me, I will hopefully remember to link it up in the thing. That's what I have for that. So, I did really easy, and talked for an hour. I talked for an hour just because I wanted to catch everybody up on what was going on. And of course, as I go on, I will, I'll add more. So, like, I've got Distress Oxide, I've got stencils. We're good. So, okay, so, what I had started doing 2 years ago was, hold on, this one's being finicky. Okay, was, lunch cards for my daughter to put in her lunchbox. So whenever I would make her food, I would put it in there, she would see it, and she really started to like it, and that's just kind of where we were at. And I didn't, I kind of stopped making them last year, and that was also because she started making her own lunch. So at least I had an excuse. I literally, I talked about it in my plan with me, but I literally just, I was surviving. It's no good. This whole year was just terrible. In fact, I did really well today. Today I am filming this on, what is today? Oh my god, on the 30th. And my beagle passed away 2 years ago. I kind of knew it was going to happen. We stayed up until, he and I, everybody else was asleep, stayed up until like 3 in the morning. But yeah, I found him the next morning. It was no fun. It has been, I'm not gonna say the worst 2 years, but whenever you live for 10 years with an animal that is just so happy to see you, and then you go from that to nothing, it really sucks. And I haven't met another dog yet that I feel that connection with, and I'm not gonna force it. So that, and I also honestly, I don't want that type of responsibility right now. I just don't. And it sucks because for my daughter, that means that she also doesn't get to deal with that responsibility, and it is what it is. So, with this, let me see. I have, aha. Okay. So, with this, we are going to, I don't think we're going to be doing any masking, which is basically, let me see if I can find something here. Yeah, okay. So this is one where I was doing masking, which is basically taking the stamp, putting it on here, so that whenever you have, if you were to have grass, but you wanted them to sit on top of the grass so that they were crisp and clean and white, then the mask would cover it. It's something that I will show later, not something now, but I was just thinking about, if you're sitting in the grass, you're going to get grass on you anyway. So I'm going to do one really quick, and no, in fact, I probably will mask a little bit because I do have clouds too. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So what I would like to do first is kind of, no, I'm gonna have to anyway because I've got the hill. The idea is, hold on, because I have nails. the idea is that I'm gonna knock everything over. Is that this is gonna be right here, the grass will be down there, and then the clouds are kind of gonna do the thing. So I guess that I kind of do in order to make sure that this works. Okay, so I'm just gonna do something little and something cute. I'm still recovering from the great cedar pollen purge of earlier this month, and the fact that I went to go and visit a friend up north, and up north had, you know, 14 degrees, and here in Texas it's 50 something, and my body decided to revolt, because, you know, bodies are revolting, ha ha ha. And yeah, oh god, I was not happy. So the other things that you can do to get kind of the same exact thing is if you have sticker paper. So sticker paper is really thin. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but if you have sticker paper, you can stamp this on sticker paper and then cut them out. Cutting them out is called fussy cutting. While I have dies, but the problem is that, so I'm going to be throwing a lot of terms at you, I'm sorry. The problem is that they are not kiss cut, which means that they do not go right up to that black line right here. They actually are a little bit farther out, and that leaves a white border, which also looks really nice. But whenever I'm doing this, I don't want that. I don't want the white border. This also doesn't have to be like the nicest, most cleanest thing. So, yeah, that works. That works just fine. Alright, and then I'm gonna take scissors. So while I recommend scissors that are a little bit, that are the small, like, bumblebee ones, which I don't have around here. Yeah, I don't know where those are. I would like to find those, especially since I'm doing this again. I'll probably buy them. But yeah, you can, at craft stores, I would say Joann's. Joann's is no longer available. But, at Michael's, probably at Hobby Lobby, but I do not go in there. I would assume at any, like, craft section of a store, any sewing section will also have little ones. Reminds me, I gotta ask one of my friends what his mom is doing now that Joann's is closed, because she does quilts. I could have really asked her while I was there, but I didn't think about it. I wasn't sure if showing an interest was a positive thing or not. So basically what you do is you just cut this out. So these are sticky all over. You can see that, like, right here isn't. But that is really good for this. They're not super sticky, which is nice. Okay, and there we go. But yeah, they're sticky all over. And then this will get thrown away. Next. So anyway, I think that I will enjoy coming back and doing this. It will be better whenever my daughter is back in school. That way, like, I'm doing this at night right now. And it's just easier because everybody's in bed. I don't have to deal with random you will find that if you're a parent, or if you have siblings, or, you know, if you do stuff that needs not necessarily quiet, I can always shut my door. But if you're doing something where nosy people, like not maliciously nosy, but nosy people really don't belong in there. Like, obviously, if you have, for some things like Twitch, for example, if you have a child that keeps coming in to see what you're doing and how you're doing, and that child is under, what is it, under 18, if the child's a minor, then, you know, does that mean that you have to change your channel thing? It's a lot. And I know that on here, if you change your channel to, you know, I want this to be for little kids, then that causes a lot of problems. You're unsearchable. And those of you that know me, I ain't for little kids. Oh, bunny tail. But I also don't, I'll swear, but I'm not as bad as I could be. Granted, you know, the F word is prevalent in my vernacular. That doesn't mean that I use it. I mean, yeah, I do use it all the time. But I know when to not. In fact, fun fact, it was only like years ago that I started using it in front of my mother. Which, you know, she hasn't said no to, or hasn't said that, you know, she doesn't like, I guess. Yeah, so I do, however, I swear, my mouth is not good, not suitable around children. Unless, you know, you don't care if I swear around your kids. In which case I will also explain controversial things to your children. This is the problem with having a child, is that there are certain things that I will explain to her, and then I realize later I probably shouldn't have. I should have maybe, like, age appropriate-nested it a little bit. So, but you know, she has questions. I'm not gonna tell her no, that's something she needs to ask whenever she's older. I just, you know, at this point I make it for an 11-year-old, which is fun. However, she also has my sarcasm and sense of humor and everything else, and a 38-year-old sense of humor wrapped up in an 11-year-old is not the best idea. I have made mistakes. We're just gonna go with that. I've made mistakes. But I also really can't tone it down. Whenever you're around somebody all the time, you're gonna get, you will get what you get. Okay, so the thing is that since I have used these, they will ghost. I'll put this on another one. It will ghost. So what I normally do is a lot. This is my way of cleaning. I do have, okay, so I can do this. I do have, like, things to clean them off. It's not that bad. Oh, goodness. Okay, well. Good enough. Alright, so the idea As I had kind of stated in my plan with me whenever I was doing this, whenever I saw these, was like memory keeping and planners and stuff like that. So we'll put this as like the mom and the baby bunny are, you know, looking through memory albums and stuff. Because that sounds cute, right? It sounds cute to me. Eck. I knew that was going to happen. There's also a hair on that. Okay, that is not straight. Get the hair off of there. Maybe. Oh, really? It's still not straight. Close enough. Good. We're good. Okay. I'm going to stamp these again. And then I'll put these on here. So this will be where I actually want them to be. So with masking, you basically have, like, this is the easiest way to do this. Of course that's going to do that. Of course it is. So, take this one off and this one off to make it a little bit easier. You will have this happen sometimes. It will be fine. Just a whole lot of books. It's vibrating. We'll go with that. There was an earthquake right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will take this and set it down here. So the fun part is this is the exact same as this, just the other way. So I will show you actually what I need to do. Whenever you're doing stuff with stencils, make sure that this is at least a little bit taped down. Otherwise, it has the possibility of going all over the place. So make sure that the tape isn't like, it's called low tack tape. This is washi tape. So not something that you would hang a poster up with on the wall, but definitely something that, you know, you could put a piece of paper on other paper and have it be fine. Alrighty, so we've got this. I really don't want all that ink on there, so I'm going to do this. And then just slowly go at it. And I'll pick up some of the ink that's right here and do some more. I don't want it to be a dark green, like a bold green where it's all filled in and you can't see it. There. So, if I take this and do that, then that covers it up. Which is cool, because if I wanted to do something else like up here, then all I had to do is cover it like that. To which I do. It's just going to be this. So whenever I place this, at the moment, I mean, I'm going to cover them all up anyway. So you just cover it right over there. But at the moment, I wouldn't have to cover these up, but I'm going to, because I'm going to need to anyway, whenever, yeah, because I'm going to have to do it like this. My brain is not braining today, in case you're wondering. So, I think what I'd like to do is if I can cover this up, and I don't trust myself at all. So I'm going to tape this down a little bit more. I just don't want it to go anywhere. Because that is the problem with low-tack tape, is that it doesn't take much. So you can also roll this in a circle and stick it underneath. And that will also help with a lot of it. Okay, so this is a stencil, and it's not like vellum. It's got some oomph to it. There are some stencils that have a little bit more of an intricate line. So as you can see, that is dork. Which is fine. But yeah, I want it to be the background. So it's of course going to be a little bit darker. A lot of bit darker. I'm good with it. So that, and you can see that there is a little bit of white. I can just do this. So I like the Distress Oxides because I can kind of blend them. They don't dry quickly. Like they're not smudgy like really wet ink like whenever you're writing. But they do here, what I'll do is this, and then I'll blend out so that the middle is kinda, so the patches that are on here, like you can see that this is kind of a patch. And it will sort of spread out. Not like spread up, but it will sort of blend together as it goes. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Eek. So that is one thing you have to be careful about whenever you use these, is that there is a pull apart place, which is where I had that. So when going in circles, you got to make sure that you don't bring that up if you don't want to. Yeah, it has definitely been a while. Holy crap. Like, I haven't used any of this. It's literally, it's been sitting here waiting for me. So, you are getting some rough here, and I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna move these down here. And of course, you know, the best part about not doing this for a long time is that you guys will get to see me progress. So if this is something that you want to do, please note that this is how this is going to work. Okay, so I like this because you can do a whole bunch of different cloud types. I'll start right here. So actually, what I need to do is do it this way. Then you can also tape the stencil down as well. This one. Okay, so for this, I know that my light blue is a little bit wet. So this pick back up. Make sure that that is lined up. And continue. Set this over here. And then okay, so you've got a nice cloudy but sunny day. And they're just sitting outside doing the thing. I need to get some wipes. So I do, let me hold up. Okay, so even though my daughter is older, but whenever she was little, we had Huggies baby wipes that we used for everything, and guess what? We still use them for everything. They are excellent whenever we eat Buffalo Wild Wings. They are excellent whenever we have runny noses. They are excellent whenever the table is dirty. Yeah, and it picks it right up. It's great. Okay, and so then I'm going to lift these up. And they come off relatively easy. I don't really have a whole lot of nails. Okay. And with the exception of right here, where I had this little bitty problem, everything is good. So then I can, I can color it, which is great. I'm going to start doing that. That is a green-gray. We're not doing that. Where is... I thought I had an actual gray. This is still a green-gray. That needs to be put over here. Aha. Okay. So that is essentially it. And of course, I think that every time... Now, I need to be really careful because this isn't dry. Like, of course... So you can see a little bit of green on my finger. It's not, like, really going anywhere like wet ink. But, I'm left-handed. So, I'm gonna have a side of color. And I know that. And that's okay. But I think every time that I do something like this, and I have to do something where I have to cover it up, I will always talk about masking. I thought about doing some sort of video with it and decided that it would just be easier for me to talk about it every time that I do it. Especially if I already have everything all cut out. Yeah, I like the idea of the baby bunny being so inquisitive about maybe it's, family, maybe it's her, her baby book or whatever. And then, of course, they're just chillaxing by the reading library, by the little outdoor library thing. I like the whole idea of an outdoor library. I've seen a lot of them where, like, stocking the lending library and stuff like that, and I thought that that was always pretty cool. That's not something, unfortunately, that I can do where I live, because HOA and everything. There are a couple of them around here. There's also a library, and the library cards are free, which is great. They also do a lot of stuff at the library. I have a lot of people that I know that are authors, and every time that I go to the library, I try to suggest their books. Now, unfortunately, you need a lot more than one person to make sure that they can get it in the library, but, you know, it's always nice to try. So if you have any indie authors, which is authors that are not traditionally published, that are not in Barnes & Noble, if you have anybody that you know that does that, please make sure to go to your library and see what you can do to suggest their book, to make sure that it's in, the library. Libraries are good. Libraries are an excellent place to go. They have places, like, it's quiet, which is great. But if you need to study, if you need just a place that is quiet, libraries are great. A lot of the times they will do, not really fundraisers, but they will work with other local businesses to make sure that, like, to promote those businesses and everything. And especially whenever, to be honest with you, especially whenever money is tight, going to the library to rent a book, or just to get out of home for a little bit, to just go sit and read, or to sit and work on your laptop, or whatever, can sometimes be a game changer. And I completely recommend going to the library. I remember going whenever I was little. This will definitely tell you how old I am. Going to the library whenever I was little and playing, what's it called? The game, Oregon Trail, on the PC. Oh my god, the 8-bit game. Holy shit. But yeah, I would go and play while my mom, looked up stuff for work, and looked up stuff for, like, while she was in college, and things like that. Okay, so, let's see, what do we have? No. So right now I'm looking at all of the words that are on here. They do have a lot of cute sayings, a lot of really cute puns. So I like... And a lot of them are stackable, so I like, you are literally the best. And then what I'm going to do, where it says, well, I guess that I could put "you are tops" in my book. So even though these are connected together, if you wanted to not put tops and you wanted to put something else, then you can. Just make sure that you rub the ink off of that, or you can cut them. Especially if they are your stamps, so you do what you want. I am going to do this. I think I'm going to put these just a little bit like that. Ta-da! I also, hold on, I need to color that part. So next time on here, I want to, especially with these ones, not with the one on Friday, I kind of want to show more versatility. Whenever I was doing these, I think I was doing 2 or 3 of them at a time, and not all at once, but doing 2 or 3, and that was just to show you what you can do with one stamp set. Sorry, trying to put this back. And it is upside down and backwards. This way. Okay. But yeah, I was doing 2 or 3 of these at once, and just to show you guys the versatility of these stamps. So you can use, you know, 1 or 2 of these so many different ways. You don't have to have, for these it was you don't have to have the dies, you just have to have the stamps, and, you know, some colors and stuff like that. So it's really easy to do, it's really easy to make something cute. You can also write on the back if you want, if you have something else to say. So yeah, that is it. Please make sure to come back on Friday whenever I'm doing an actual card. It's going to be a little bit harder. I want to... like, it'll be a card. I'm not quite sure yet. That'll be something that I will think about tomorrow and probably record tomorrow. But yeah, it'll be, with the cutouts and everything else, with, like, using the dies, so I'm gonna have to cut these. Which means that I need to have a trip to the Crafty Crap store because I do not have the pliers for those. Anyway... yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this. Please make sure to leave a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you hated it, let me know. I enjoy the engagement. Thanks, guys. Have a nice night.